There are some I wouldn't vote for. Jeffrey Brown, Danny Cansey, and of course is the developer from the Bella Vista, hoping to use it, has tried to use it as a platform. He's the one who started the 11 Must Go. Council had some failings in all of that, but the developer ought not to be on council, I don't think. There's a few I don't know, but Councillor Curack for 18 years has been elected on a slogan, "Pick Rick." You see it again. It's one of the most effective things you've ever seen, but it just doesn't match what he really does on council, and I think it should be Flick Rick this time.
That's good.
And I hope I can say that without malice, because you know I'm not. Rick's a nice enough guy, but when you've been on council for 18 years and you say, well, what have you done? You've seen him operating with this situation with 11 Mission Street. And on December the 10th, he voted to give it to the Tamataha Trust, subject to some consultation. Then on the 10th of September, he voted not to give it to the Tamataha Trust. And then in the same meeting, he voted not to give it to the Elms. And then he voted to give it to the Tamataha Trust if the trustees would confirm that they were happy with that. And when they said they were happy with it, he said, oh no, that's not enough information. And now we're having another meeting next Tuesday. Sometimes it is hard to know what the right thing to do is, but when you've caused all those meetings, that's a lot of money. And yet this is the guy who says he wants to keep rates down and save money. And yet by his very actions, as is the case for many, you just end up wasting money. All of our expensive staff are sitting around that debating chamber, all on salaries, you know, that make us dizzy. And when we hold them up, he constantly comes up with amendments that he hasn't thought about before. Oh, can I just figure out what I'm going to say? And then he gets it all worked out, and we're all sitting there, and then he goes, okay, so the amendment is this. Is there a seconder? No, it's not. Okay. If you're going to make an amendment to a motion that's in your report, you should think about it beforehand. And you should see if you've got somebody to second it. And you should write it out before you go to the chamber. Now, occasionally you have to do something on the fly because there's a debate occurring and so on. But this happens constantly. Then there's John Robson, who I won't be voting for. He came back in on the by-election in the middle of this term and has made life very difficult for everybody. He is only happy when he is at the centre of everything and is smarter than everybody, and it creates real tension. I guess all I can say is that one staff person told me they felt physically ill when they found out he had been re-elected. When I got onto council at the beginning of this term, both Terry and I came back in. I couldn't believe how many of the councillors that have been there for the last 3 years, how much they spoke about John Robson, and none of it was positive. And it went on for 2 months of this term. Rick Curack designed a very clever sign for him. $55 million museum, you got to be joking. And he won the by-election. So, I will not be giving him a ranking at all. Andrew Hollis is a person who's simply building everything on the negative. You know, he was the guy who did the Fix Our Roads campaign, but now it's, you know, the mess up we made at the Namanu Porutakataka Park of the mount. Now it's you can fix the track around the mount. I was in a meeting yesterday where the mayoral candidates were speaking at the Disability Forum, and you know, he and Murray, look, we can fix it by next week. Just we'll get down there with a spade. You've got to be kidding. This is one of the most historic places around. You can't touch a pebble on that place without the Historic Places Trust approval, for a start. And then it's not owned by us, it's owned by the Maori trustees. You know, this is their land, and they let 1 million people walk around it every year. We pay for it, but you know, it's a joint thing. You just can't bowl in there with, come on guys, bring the diggers in and we'll fix this thing. That's why it costs so much. And if that's what you're campaigning on and you haven't thought it through, I wouldn't trust them. I wouldn't give them a tip.